Hey, what's up, Red Devil Field Hockey? Hopefully everybody is finishing up their finals. Everybody's doing well academically, ready to wrap up and get after the off season here as we move into the summertime. I just want to take a few minutes to go over the programming, kind of explain my thought process, and hopefully answer any questions that you may have as we move into the summer. If you do have other questions, obviously feel free to reach out. I've listed on the packet my email, my cell phone, my office phone, pretty much every way you need to get a hold of me. It's listed, so don't hesitate to reach out and ask questions about stuff. The first thing I want to talk about is just continuing to increase performance. I thought we had a really good off season leading into the non-traditional season here in the spring. I thought we made some good gains in conditioning for sure, and definitely a little bit of strength and power as well. But we're now going to reset and start over. We're going to start back at phase one. We're going to start and rebuild our base, and then we're going to continue through the phases very similarly to what we did in the last off season, with a few tweaks and changes here and there. So again, I just really want to emphasize that don't just be okay with what we did in the off season. I want you to continue to push your performance and continue to get faster, continue to get more fit, and that way, as we get back into the season in the fall, we've not just stayed stagnant. We've actually made improvements again over the summer. We come back, we have our testing, our fitness testing, and we're crushing that even more easily than we did here in the spring. So continue to push your performance and continue to push yourselves. Lots of effort, lots of intent, just like we talked about all off season. So this off season is going to be broken down into three phases. Phase 1, 2, and 3. They'll each last about a month or about 4 weeks. The last two phase 3 might get broken down into 2 3-week phases and actually be 4 phases in total rather than 3. But in general, it'll be about 3 phases. First phase is going to be, and the first phase that we're going to talk about today is all about tissue capacity and aerobic base. Phase 2 then is going to be more focused on strength and aerobic capacity, so starting to really increase our fitness and our aerobic fitness. And then phase 3 is all about speed and power and sport-specific conditioning. So just like we did in the off season here leading into the spring, we'll start to get more into the interval-based stuff and a lot of the 300 shuttles and the shorter sprints, trying to get us fit and ready for field hockey conditioning. One other thing, a little housekeeping here, just make sure that you're warming up really well. I do have a warm-up listed in the instructions, so the program instructions attached to this email will kind of explain all of the programming things, especially for the first years who haven't been with us in the off season to understand how the programming works. That will discuss all the sets and reps and supersets and how to basically read the program. Again, if you have other questions and you don't understand, please feel free to reach out. But that is all listed in there. And also, again, there is the warm-up listed in there. Make sure you're warming up. So girls that have already been with the program, if you want to use the warm-up that you normally do before practices and lifts, feel free to do that, but just make sure you're warming up before you start activity. We always want to decrease injury, and warming up is vital to help with that. Then let's get into the program. So the workouts will be Monday, Wednesday, Friday will be our speed workouts and our weight room workouts. So just like we did in the off season, you'll start out doing some wall drills, some technical speed work, some marches, skips, and then some speed technique drills. And then you'll go into the weight room. The speed stuff in phase 1 isn't all out effort yet. We're really just focusing on technique. So slow it down a little bit, focus on getting high knees, focus on positioning, focus on staying tall, on all those things that we worked on in the past off season. Again, we're going back to phase 1. We're going back to refine all those skills that we did. So we got a little bit better. Now we're going to use the same drills, but even get a little bit more better. So slow it down, really take this time to lock in the form, the technique, and the speed stuff in phase 1. We're not necessarily worried about how fast we run in phase 1. We're worried about technique and really locking that down. So as we get into phase 2 and 3, that technique is locked down, and now we can really have effort and intent with those drills. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we do our speed work first, and then we'll go into the weight room. Tuesdays and Thursdays will be our aerobic plyometrics with our tempos, and we'll go over what each one of those is later. And then on Saturday or Sunday, either one, you can do our cardiac output, and again, we'll go over that in a second of what that is. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday, speed work, weight room. Tuesday, Thursdays, aerobic plyometrics and tempos, and then either Saturday or Sunday, cardiac output, and then that gives you 1 day off to completely rest and recover. So I want you to take at least 1 day off. The breakdown of what I just said, you can change that if you need to, right? So like you could go Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday in the weight room instead of Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Those specifics aren't necessarily that important. It's trying to get in all the workouts within the order. So we don't want to do too high intensity workouts. So our Monday, Wednesday, Friday are a little bit higher intensity, a little bit more effort and intent in the weight room and stuff like that. So they're a little bit harder to recover from. We wouldn't want to necessarily do those back-to-back days if we can avoid that. So we want to have the lower intensity Tuesday, Thursday aerobic work in between those to help us actively recover and prepare us for the next high intensity day. So we don't want to back those up. But again, you can kind of pick and choose which days of the week you use for which ones, as long as we're going more in that order where we go a high day, low day, high day, low day, and then again 1 day a week, try to take completely off and recover. So that'll be the breakdown of the workouts. So if you go into the actual PDF of the phase 1 programming, the cover sheet there, it just says Dickinson Field Hockey Performance. You can flip through that, and then as you get into the next pages will be all the video demos. So for every single exercise that I'm asking you to do, there is a video demonstration of it on YouTube. So they're all listed on the next 2 pages there. The exercise is on the left, and then if you click on the link, that'll take you to a video of myself doing the exercise with the technique and the form that I want you to do. Again, if you don't have a piece of equipment or you're not sure on the technique or something hurts, please reach out to me and I can either give you an alternative exercise with the equipment that you do have, or we can talk through, maybe again, another alternative exercise that doesn't hurt, or maybe we need to, get you into a healthcare provider at home to make sure that, the injury or the pain isn't coming from something that's more serious that we need to take a look at. So again, anytime you have any equipment issues or pain or anything that you're just not comfortable with, please feel free to reach out to me and we'll give you some alternative exercises or help you troubleshoot that. But again, make sure you do look at the videos and make sure you know what kind of exercises you're doing before you get to the weight room, or even while you're at the weight room. Make sure you are doing the right exercise, so use those videos. If you go into the next page, this is again just another little layout of how everything is going to work. So we have Monday, Wednesday, Friday listed as the speed work, and then Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday as more of our low intensity aerobic days. So let's start with, let's skip the speed work. We'll go into that next. So let's go to Tuesday, Thursdays, our aerobic plyometrics and tempos. So for aerobic plyometrics, these, again, there's a video there, check it out, but these are low hurdle hops. So, anywhere from 4 to 6 inch little hurdles. And if you don't have hurdles, you can just use lines, or you can even just pretend like there's hurdles there. The implement isn't necessarily that important. It's, again, what we're trying to do here is build some elasticity. So it's a low level plyometric. We're trying to create some tendon adaptations to create some springiness and be bouncy and not necessarily thudding on the ground. Again, I think this is going to be a really vital, important part of the off season for you guys is these plyometric exercises, especially for those who have been struggling with, like some Achilles tendonitis or shin splints or some of these overuse injuries. These exercises will help, distribute that stress a little bit more evenly throughout the body via the muscle tendon junctions rather than bone or really hard, stiff, passive stability structures. So again, make sure you're taking advantage of these. What we're trying to do is just these low hurdle hops, 8 to 10 at a time, being bouncy up on the toes, jumping over those hurdles repetitively. Again, trying to be springy, walk back to the beginning, and you do that for the amount of time listed. So in week 1, we start with 3 minutes. That builds by 1 minute each week throughout phase 1. After you're done with those, you can take like a 3 to 5 minute break, get a drink, and then we're going to go into our tempo work. Our tempos are a sprint, but not at full effort. So we're not 100% out maximal effort sprinting. It's a 60 to 70% effort. So it should be faster than a jog or a run, but not a full out, all out sprint. All right. So again, that should be done at a 60 to 70% effort for the volume listed on the packet. On week 1, we have 3 sets of 6 repetitions at 80 yards. So every repetition will last 80 yards. So every time you run 80 yards, that's 1 rep. Take a 30 to 60 second rest after that. That is 1 rep. You'll do that 6 times. That is 1 set. And you'll do that 3 times. So 3 sets of 6 reps at 80 yards. And again, those reps go up each week. So that volume will go up week to week throughout phase 1. Again, 30 to 60 seconds between reps, and then a 5-minute break in between sets. So that's Tuesday and Thursday. Those workouts are the exact same. And then on Saturday or Sunday, either one, whichever day you want to do it, is just cardiac output. So cardiac output is our slow, long distance type of work, preferably, especially for anybody who's having a lot of shin pain or any joint issues at the time. I would keep this completely non-impact, so like a stationary bike or elliptical would be a great way to do this. And what we're trying to do is maintain our heart rate in between 120 and 150 beats per minute. That might be a little bit lower on a bicycle, so anywhere from 120 to 140 on the bike since you're in a seated position. But again, it's a low intensity but long duration activity. This should be a low aerobic day. Again, you can use any implement that you want. And again, I would encourage some lower impact here at the beginning in phase 1, since we're just getting out of the season and we're beat up a little bit. But if you do want to run, you can just go for a nice little run. So again, this volume increases week to week. In week 1, we have 30 to 40 minutes of this, and then that increases up to 60 minutes in week 4. And then again, either Sunday or Saturday or Sunday, whichever day you don't do the cardiac output, I want you to take a complete off day. All right, as we get into the next page, you'll see the speed training listed out. Again, there's videos for each one of these exercises. In phase 1 here, on our linear acceleration day, we're going to start with some wall drills. And then we go into some technique work, and then we go into some combination technique work where we're kind of putting several skills together into a sprint. Check out the videos, and then in week 1, it shows you the volumes that we're trying to do. So again, for like the wall posture hold, we're going to do 2 sets of 10-second holds, and that'll be on each side. So anytime you see an ES, that stands for each side. So that you'll see that quite frequently throughout the program. And then as you can see on like the high knee march, we're going to do 2 sets of 10 yards. So each rep will last 10 yards. So you'll march for 10 yards, take a little rest, do it again. That would be the 2 sets. And then down in the actual speed work, you'll do a march, skip, sprint. So you'll march for 5, skip for 5, and then sprint for 10. And that would be 1 rep. And again, in week 1, we're only doing about 80% on that sprint. So it's not a full out effort sprint. We're really trying to lock down the technique and focus on that more so than how fast we are running. And you'll do that 6 times. And again, that progresses, effort will progress there in week to week. Top end speed, the next section there on the speed training, day 2 or Wednesday will be our top end speed. So we'll again start with some wall drills, check out the videos, and then we have our step over series, and then again combining a couple of those skills together to try to really hone in on the technique. And again, the effort is only at about 80% here, really trying to lock down technique, not necessarily how fast we run. And then the multi-directional speed day, this is the stuff that we did later in the off season, but we're adding it in here. So in the past off season, we only did speed training twice a week. Here over the summer, we're going to do 3 times a week with a multi-directional day. So we have a linear day, max effort output day, and then a top end speed day, and then a multi-directional day. Check out the videos for each one of those. If you have any questions on the programming there or the volume, please let me know. All right, if we flip into the next page, you'll see the weight room workouts. Again, weight room workouts will be 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Each workout is very similar. So we start out with a little mini circuit is what I would call it.
and then we have supersets, and then we have like a little finisher at the end of each workout. So you'll see at the mini circuit, we do some abs, we do some type of plyometric, and we do some type of med ball. So this should be light and fast. This stuff should be explosive work, not real heavy. We're not really adding a lot of load or really adding any load to the little mini circuits. Again, that's your plyometrics, your more explosive stuff at the beginning of the workout. Check out the videos. So you'll do exercise 1A, take a little bit of a rest, go into exercise 1B, take a little bit of a rest, and then exercise 1C, and then you'll take a little bit longer rest before you repeat that. So that's a little mini circuit. We'll do that 3 sets of each exercise as you go through, you know, A, B, and C. That will be 1 set, and then do that 3 times. Just notice that the volumes of reps and volumes of sets will progress week to week in different sections. So just make sure you're paying attention to that. Next there you have a superset of split squat and half kneeling landmine press. Again, check out the exercise videos, make sure you know what you're doing. But here then you would do exercise 2A, take a little bit of a rest, do exercise 2B, take a little bit longer of a rest, and then repeat that for the number of sets and reps that are indicated. Same thing for the next 2 exercise superset. And then there at the end of Monday, we have goblet squat tempo. So the tempo is listed underneath there as 303. That means that you will take 3 seconds to lower down into the bottom of a squat, and then immediately come back up and take 3 seconds to rise up out of the squat, and then repeat that for the number of repetitions that are indicated. We don't want to lock out here. We want to really try to keep tension the entire time. So we're not going to lock our knees out at the top, and we're not going to pause at the bottom. It's going to be constant tension, 3 seconds up, or I'm sorry, 3 seconds down, 3 seconds up, 3 seconds down for the number of repetitions that I have indicated. And again, you can check out the video for the technique on that. If you flip the next page, you have Wednesday's workout. Again, it's set up very similarly to Monday, but there's a little bit more upper body focus, a little bit less legs. Same thing, a little finisher there at the end with a hands elevated push-up tempo. Again, that's tempo work, so make sure you have that 3 second up, 3 second down, no lockout. And then finally on Friday, again, same setup here. You start with a mini circuit and then 2 supersets and then a little finisher. Again, check out the videos, make sure you understand the exercises, and then you have the sets and reps. And then at the end here, we have a finisher for pull-ups. This is the same thing we did in the off-season, girls. So you're gonna do as many pull-ups as you can. So maybe you get 5 pull-ups, take 30 seconds, do as many as you can. Maybe the next time you get 2, take 30 seconds, and then maybe the next time you get 3. You continue that pattern until you get all 20 pull-ups. If you need to use a band to help assist you with that, I'm fine with that. Or if you even want to try some different grips, so you can either do overhand, underhand, or neutral grip, I'm fine with any of those. But again, do as many as you can, take 30 seconds, do as many as you can until you get to the number of reps that are indicated for that week. That takes us through the off-season program. Let me know if you have any questions. I did want to just talk real quick about if you miss workouts. So we obviously want to try to hit every workout. That's the goal, is to hit every workout. But obviously life comes up. You know, we get a cold, or you go away on vacation, or you know, life happens. What I would recommend doing is I am going to include a body weight circuit. So if you do go on vacation and you want to keep up with some exercises, you can use the body weight program. It's again, we're not adding load to it, so it's not quite as intense as the actual weight room, but it's a good way to kind of maintain some qualities while we're away from the gym for a little bit if we go on vacation or something like that. So I'll include that. And then otherwise, you know, if you miss a workout here or there, you know, 1 or 2 isn't too bad. But if you miss an extended period of time, don't just jump back into the program where everybody else is at. Go back to where you left off and start over, or even maybe regress a week or 2 and restart the whole phase. You know, this program will build on itself throughout, and if you don't have the qualities and the tissue capacities and the foundation of the phase before and the exercises before, it's going to take a toll on your body as we increase volume throughout that phase. You can't just jump into the higher volume without the foundation underneath you. So again, if you do miss some workouts or you need a body weight workout, I will attach that to this as well. And then otherwise, if you just have any questions about anything, or how to best work through maybe an extended vacation or anything like that, feel free to reach out. I think I've covered everything I need to. If I didn't, or you have any other questions, again, please reach out and ask questions. Work really, really hard this summer. As we finish up phase 1, I will get you phase 2, usually the week before, or as we're finishing phase 1, I'll send you phase 2. I like to do it one phase at a time in case I can get any feedback from girls, or need to make any tweaks here and there. I only like to write one phase at a time, so you'll get the next phase at the end of this one. So look for that in your email. It'll be very similar to set up to this, and we'll continue to progress throughout the summer and be super fit and ready to perform in the fall. If you have any questions, reach out. Otherwise, enjoy and work hard. Thanks.